Kentucky Fried Chicken, or KFC, has become synonymous with crispy golden fried chicken throughout its 91-year history. Colonel Harland Sanders founded KFC, which has risen to become the world's second largest fast food chain, trailing only McDonald's in terms of sales. So, how did KFC evolve from a gas station recipe to the largest fast food chain in the world? Make sure to watch till the end, and here we begin. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, is an American fast food restaurant chain specializing in fried chicken and headquartered in Louisville, Kentucky. The restaurant chain is owned by Yum! Brands, which also owns the Pizza Hut and Taco Bell brands. Colonel Harland Sanders, 1890 to 1980, founded KFC after selling fried chicken from a roadside restaurant in Corbin, Kentucky during the Great Depression. Sanders saw the potential of restaurant franchising and opened the first Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise in Utah in 1952. KFC popularized chicken in the fast food industry, diversifying the market by challenging the hamburger's established dominance. Harland Sanders was born in 1890 on a farm near Henryville, Indiana, near Louisville, Kentucky. Sanders' father died when he was just 5 years old, forcing his mother to work at a canning plant. Sanders was left to care for his two younger siblings as the eldest son. His mother taught him to cook when he was 7 years old. Sanders worked in various professions after leaving the family home at the age of 13. Harland became a prominent figure in American cultural history by branding himself as the Colonel Sanders, and his image is still widely used today in KFC to advertise. Sanders purchased a Shell gas station on US Route 25 just outside North Corbin, Kentucky, a small town on the outskirts of the Appalachian Mountains in 1930. Here, he served travelers his childhood recipes for fried chicken and other dishes like steaks and country ham. Sanders purchased a larger filling station on the other side of the road after 4 years of serving from his own dining room table, and expanded it to 6 tables. By 1936, Sanders' efforts have proven successful enough for Governor Ruby Laffoon to bestow upon him the honorary title of Kentucky Colonel. However, the group's rapid expansion overwhelmed the aging Sanders, and he sold it in 1964 to a group of investors led by John Y. Brown Jr. and Jack C. Macy. Sanders was dissatisfied with the 35-minute preparation time for his chicken in an iron frying pan, but he refused to deep fry the chicken, which he believed lowered the product's quality. In addition, there was sometimes wastage at the end of the day if he pre-cooked the chicken in advance of orders. By the mid-1960s, KFC had become one of American fast food corporations to go global, with locations in Canada, the United Kingdom, Mexico, and Jamaica. However, domestically, it had mixed fortunes throughout the 1970s and 1980s, as it went through a series of corporate ownership changes with little to no experience in the restaurant business. KFC was sold to the spirits distributor Huebling in the early 1970s, which was taken over by the R.J. Reynolds Food and Tobacco Conglomerate, which was then sold to the chain by PepsiCo. However, the chain continued to expand overseas, becoming the first Western restaurant chain to open in China in 1987. Since then, it has rapidly expanded in China, which is now the company's single largest market. PepsiCo spun off its restaurant division as Tycoon Global Restaurants, later renamed Yum! Brands. The original KFC product is pressure-fried chicken pieces seasoned with Sanders' 11-herb and spice recipe. The recipe ingredients are a trade secret. Larger portions of fried chicken are served in a cardboard bucket, a feature of the chain since its inception in 1957 by franchisee Pete Harmon. Since the early 1990s, KFC has expanded its menu to include other chicken products like chicken fillet sandwiches and wraps, as well as salads and side dishes like french fries and coleslaw. Desserts and soft drinks are frequently supplied by PepsiCo. KFC slogans include, "It's finger-licking good," "Nobody does chicken like KFC," and "So good." Humble beginnings. KFC's origins can be traced back to the back room of Sanders' gas station in Corbin, Kentucky, where he would frequently cook for his family and, on occasion, customers. According to all accounts, Sanders used his mother's recipes, and given the rate at which word was delectable food spread, those recipes had to be something special. Sanders' culinary fame soon led to the development of the Harland Sanders Court and Cafe, across the street from his original gas station. After being dubbed the Kentucky Colonel by the state governor in 1936, Sanders went on to perfect his original secret recipe, which remains unknown to the public but appears to consist of only common household ingredients. Sanders was also dissatisfied with the amount of time it took to pan-fry his famous fried chicken, so he looked into other options. However, due to his no-compromise attitude, he immediately rejected the option of deep-frying the chicken because he believed it would degrade its quality. So he turned to pressure cookers, typically used to steam vegetables. Sanders repurposed a commercial pressure cooker to reduce prep time to that of deep frying while maintaining the quality of pan-fried chicken. How did the chicken fly overseas? Brown and Macy own the national and international franchising rights under their agreement with Sanders, with the exception of England, Canada, and certain states in the United States. And as a result, they began opening stores across the United States, followed by Mexico, Japan, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. By 1980, KFC had a global presence with nearly 6,000 outlets in 48 countries, and an annual sales revenue of approximately $2 billion US. Following its initial sale to Brown and Macy, KFC changed hands several times before being sold to PepsiCo in 1986. PepsiCo used its experience from successfully operating the Pizza Hut and Taco Bell brands to help KFC thrive in the global market. As of late 2020, KFC is a subsidiary of Yum! Brands, with 24,000 locations in 145 countries. This massive expansion is due to KFC's willingness to adapt its menus to local tastes. In addition to Sanders' original recipe, hot and spicy alternatives have been introduced in several international markets. Asia preferred spicy foods while also enjoying the Zinger burgers/sandwiches. Chicken is generally served as halal in Islamic countries, while fried seafood products under the brands Colonel's Catch are available in some of the Mediterranean and Southeast Asian countries. Having said that, KFC has maintained a no-compromises approach to their core offering, their claim to fame. Pressurized fried chicken seasoned with Colonel Sanders' original recipe of 11 herbs and spices. KFC has remained committed to its rich history to this day. They've been very vocal about their desire to uphold Colonel Sanders' legacy while always providing their customers with food that is simply finger-licking good. Why did the chicken travel cross-country? Unfortunately, the aftermath of World War II, combined with the resulting tourism and economic decline, put the Colonel's Cafe in jeopardy. Despite this, the cafe clung to a glimmer of hope as it saw an increase in post-war customers. This hope, however, did not last long, as the proposed Interstate 75 threatened the Colonel's business with future viability. Colonel Sanders was forced to reconsider his strategy as a result of this. Sanders turned to the franchise because his cafe wasn't getting as much traffic as it used to. So Sanders sold his cafe in the early 1950s, packed his belongings, and set out on a journey to franchise his recipe to restaurant owners across the country. Colonel Sanders sold the first Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise to Pete Harmon, a Salt Lake City, Utah restaurant owner in 1952. Sanders may not have realized it at the time, but this decision gave birth to the KFC brand that we now know today. Sanders spent the next 4 years franchising his recipe to a number of different restaurant owners. Restaurants initially paid a franchise fee of 4, later 5, cents per sale in exchange for Sanders' original recipe, and the right to include KFC on their menu. Sanders struggled to make ends meet on his savings and Social Security income, and this meager income proved insufficient. So Sanders, refusing to struggle for a living, traveled across the country from restaurant to restaurant, franchising his recipe. Sanders intended to franchise by providing on-site demonstrations of his method and recipe, dressed as per his Colonel brand, in his quintessential white suit, white shirt, and black string tie, accented by his unmistakable mustache and goatee. However, one could argue that his exceptional charisma could have built the majority of his business. It wasn't easy, but by the mid-1960s, Sanders had persuaded over 600 restaurants to include his recipe on their menu, making KFC the largest fast food franchise in the United States. Sanders decided to sell a majority of his business to a group of investors for $2 million in 1964. Pete Harmon, the first franchisee to follow Sanders' recipe, was among the notable investors led by University of Kentucky Law School graduate John Y. Brown and Nashville financier Jack Macy. Colonel Sanders retained his position as KFC's brand ambassador and trademark, as well as a guaranteed lifetime salary. What do you think about the evolution of KFC, the largest fast food chain worldwide? Let us know in the comments below and make sure to subscribe for more.